Part C now, and we're told the road from C to F will be closed, so we can't travel along CF anymore. So let's cross that out. CF, we cannot travel along there anymore. Now clearly that was part of our shortest route earlier in the question. So the task now is find the shortest route from the start A to the end J that does not include CF and state its length. There are actually two answers here. Either one of them would get you full marks. Let's find one of them. So if we're not allowed to travel along CF, what I'm going to try and do is stay on this shortest route as much as I possibly can. So in other words, as I begin at A, the edge on the shortest route to begin with was AC. So I'm going to try and stay on that shortest route, AC, but then I'm not allowed to travel along CF. And I noticed that if I then travel along CE, so from A to C, and then from C to E, from E to the end, I can stay back on the shortest path. So from E, I then go to G and then J. Let's see how long that is. So AC is 18 plus 15, that's 33. At 6 is 39. At 15 is 54. Now, because CF was part of our shortest route, and we're now not allowed to travel along CF, I know whatever route I get, its length is going to be slightly longer than my answer to part A. And because this has given me a length of 54, I know I'm not going to be able to find a shorter one. 53 was the shortest, and that involved us having to travel along CF. Because I now can't travel along CF, it's going to be a little bit longer, and 54 is just 1 kilometre longer. I know I'm not going to be able to beat 54. That's one answer and get you both marks. Finding these answers really is just a case of a bit of logical thinking, maybe trying a few different routes and seeing what you get. I'm not following Dijkstra's algorithm all over again. If the question wanted you to do Dijkstra all over again, they would have to give you a brand new blank diagram and you'd be told to use Dijkstra again. This is only 2 marks, so we're really just using a bit of trial and improvement. Now there is a second route, and avoiding CF, starting at A. This time, and really this is just by trying a few different possibilities, you could notice that going from A to D to F quickly gets you onto this shortest path from earlier. So if we went ADF, let's see how long that is. ADF is 15 plus 14 is 29. And earlier, when we could travel along CF, the journey from A to F was only 1 shorter, 28. So going ADF has only added 1 onto our length of our journey. And once we get to F, we're back onto the old shortest route. So from F, we'd go to E, G, J. So the only extra bit there was 1 kilometre extra. I'm just going to double check that matches. So 15 plus 14 is 29, plus 4 is 33, 39, yep, 54. So there's 2 answers for part C. You only had to give one of them and you would get both marks. As long as you gave a route and a length, either one of these would have been acceptable. And that's the end of the question.